Okay, well, welcome to the Clarington Chronicle. So, the podcast is a little bit rough right now, but I plan to explain everything that I plan on doing with it very shortly. I'm going to be giving you a channel that provides Clarington news, views, and interviews. But stay tuned, and I'll explain more in the upcoming episodes. I just have a few things that I want to explain. I'm Mark Stanisz, by the way, and yes, this is episode 91, so you may be asking yourself, where are the other 90 episodes? Well, I had the Clarington Chronicle podcast for many years. I started it back in 2015, 2016, it was started, and I did 90 episodes, and you can look those up. Most of them are online somewhere. Either on YouTube or on Twitter or on Spreaker or somewhere, right? You'll be able to find them. But in any case, I'm switching it over now to a video show. So I'll explain all that in a little bit. It's just we have a lot to do this episode, so I just want to kind of get going. Also, yeah, we have dozens, maybe 100. There's lots of people running for election. So the topic of this show will be election 2022, Clarington election 2022. I'm going to go through the website and I'm going to explain, go through all the different candidates and explain who's running where. Okay, so let's start here. You go to clarington.net, you can get some information. I'll also go through some of the pamphlets and brochures that I've amassed for the election campaign 2022. So I'll just go through some of those in a little bit. But you go to clarington.net, and right at the top it says it's time to vote, Clarington. The voting period for Clarington's 2022 municipal election is now open. Eligible Clarington electors can vote online or by telephone until 8 p.m. on Monday, October 24th, 2022. So make sure you do that. It's safe. It's easy, safe, and convenient according to them. Hang on. And vote today and help shape the future of your community. Okay, great. But I'm a voting day kind of guy, so I'm not. This may save money. This may be for some people it might be easier, but I don't know. I feel you should be voting on voting day, right? And in person if possible. You know, some exceptions obviously made if you're unable to vote on that specific day, but making it all online like this is just disturbing to me. So in any case, that's how you can vote right here. So go to the site. So you click learn more, and it's time to vote, and it shows it has contact information, the voting period, eligible electors can vote online or by phone, etc., etc. Same what they just said, but it shows where 40 Temperance is, which is town hall, and some information on the side there. So you might want to consider that if you want to go there and or online and vote. So actually, maybe we'll go through these pamphlets first. So this is the stack of stuff I had delivered to the door. I did get also one from Neal, but it was I found it maybe a couple days later in the garden, so it kind of got mangled. But I did get one from him. Okay, so I got the What's Up in Clarington brochure. You can see that. So What's Up in Clarington brochure. So it's got Applefest, but it's got the vote online here, snow clearing, and all your typical stuff. But that's kind of like what put it. This was the fall 22. That's what put it on the agenda, or this is upcoming. I also got in the mail you can see that. Yeah, that's my voting pin number and card. I haven't opened this. I don't plan to actually vote here with you all right now, but I'll vote on voting day, I suppose. But I do have the information here. Yeah, voting period, and it's got my PIN number. Obviously, I'm not going to show you all this stuff, but it shows a whole bunch of places where you can get assistance and whatever. It just seems to me like, wow, we couldn't have just actually voted on voting day. These are in no particular order, but I have one from Tom Dingwall for mayor. So double-sided pamphlet. And I got one from Granville Anderson. I got two actually from Granville Anderson. I got one. He's running for wards 1 and 2. We'll go through them all in a minute. But I got this experienced, proven leadership. I got that in the mail. And then I also got one just today to the door. Which I always appreciate. I did run for election twice in 2010 and 2014. Then I got one from Joshua Glover. He also came to the door. I had a chat with him. He's the separate school Catholic school board trustee candidate. Stephen Conway, who was one of the people that I ran against in 2010, I believe. We were fighting against the incinerator. I got a couple here from Adrian Foster. So he gave me the pamphlets there. And his tagline is, "Let's keep Bowmanville on track." And there's a whole bunch of information there. So I'm sure most of you got this as well. And then I got one from Sami Elhajjeh. So his pamphlets there, bright yellow color. And finally, I got another piece of literature from Adrian Foster to the door. And was that to the door or to the mail? I can't remember if I got this in the mail or to the door. And then it's, points opposing Joe Neal and points in favor of himself. So I think Adrian considers Joe Neal to be his primary opponent rather than Mr. Dingwall. So that's what I got to the door. So I thought it was kind of interesting. I do, obviously I love politics, so I always collect all this stuff. I probably have things from the 1980s still somewhere in a box, right? So I just love this kind of stuff. All right, so let's take a look at who's running. So there's a website here, votes.clarington.net, and you can kind of see it at the top there. But here's who's running. We're going to go down this list. Okay, so it's quite extensive. I'm surprised by how many people are running. There's like dozens. You're going to see. All right, so I guess we'll start at the top. Mayor, so Tom Dingwall is running. You can go to their sites, for example, there. And so there's the gentleman there, and there's some information about me, what he stands for. So bringing a lifetime of service and accountability to Clarington. Okay, and then let's go to Adrian Foster. So he's the current mayor. No, I guess I don't need this. I was just listening to something. Keeping Clarington on track. So he's the current mayor, so obviously he wants to continue to lead our municipality. So he's got all this material there as well. I also saw, let's see, so on social media, I saw an ad from Janice Jones. I saw one from Adrian, and I think I saw one from Joe Neal. I think those are the ones that I've seen. Okay, so there's that. Who else is running? And then we have Joe Neal, right? So that's his website there. Oh, it doesn't connect to the website. I guess it connects to his mail. So that didn't work. .com. Oh, this is the website. There we go. So there's his home. Join the mailing list. Lawn signs. He's got a video. Again, we got a lot, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. You can look this up for the ones that apply to you. Regional Councilor Award since 2014. Deputy Chair of the Planning Committee. So he's got all that listed here. Various stuff. And then we have Mirko, who just has the email. So there's 4 candidates there. Okay, Regional Councilors wards 1 and 2. So we have Granville Anderson. There's Granville. Experience matters. So he's been very active in the community in the West End in particular for quite some time. And we have Janice Jones, who's also been very active in the West End of Clarington, representing Ward 1 most recently. And we have Bernard Sanchez, whose website is here. So there's Bernard. Together, let's shape a better future. Election day. Join the No BS from BS movement. Okay, so he's playing on that. Like that, I find that funny. And let's see. So those are the 3 for Regional Councilor Wards 1 and 2. So that's the west side of the municipality. So let's try Regional Councilors Wards 3 and 4. Oh, and by the way, in the show notes, I'm going to put all these links. I'm going to aggregate them all and put them for you so you can quickly look at their websites. You have time to go through it tonight, tomorrow. Willie Woo was acclaimed. He's a former municipal politician, so very popular, and he was acclaimed. Nobody ran against him. Okay, so then wards. So there's 4. So how it works, actually, just let's back up a little bit. So how it works, if you're not aware, is there's a mayor, there's 2 regional councillors, and all 3 of those go to the regional council as our Clarington reps. Now, and then on the local, we have 4 wards. So basically, it goes from west to east. Wards 1 is basically Curtis. Wards 2 and Curtis and the north, right? Like Enfield, Salina. Then we have Ward 2, which is the west side of Bowmanville, Ward 3, which is the east side of Bowmanville, and Ward 4, which is Orono, Newcastle area. So, and surrounding area. Let's see. So let's start with Ward 1. That's where I'm located, in Curtis. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 candidates. So we have Stephen Conway, who, again, for disclosure, I ran against in 2010 and 2014, I guess. Where's his website here? So there's Stephen Conway. Scroll down who he is so you can get all his information. So we'll see if he has some kind of tagline, volunteer, why he's running, issues, waterfront plan. Okay, so there's Stephen Conway. And then we have Sami Elhajjeh. So that's his website there. Candidate, learn more. There's Sami there. Objectives. So yeah, so there's his website there. He has a good website. Then we have Robert Livingstone. He doesn't have a website, but he has a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So there's his Instagram page. Okay. Some items there. And we have Larey Reynolds. So he has a website there. Elect Larey. So there's Larey Reynolds. It's time for a change. So he's going for the change. Meet Larey. There's him on the doorstep talking to who I presume is a resident and shaking the hand. So you can learn more about Larey there. So that's Ward 1. Now Ward 2, we have Ryan Kerr, who has his email address there, and we have Lloyd Rang. And it's not listing a website. It's Facebook maybe. Okay, there's a Ryan Kerr Talks Local. All right. And then Lloyd. Is that back to the email again? Hang on. This one. Okay, that one. So let's see. Caring for Clarington. So there's Lloyd Rang. Okay. So you can learn more about Lloyd. Okay, let's see who's running in Ward 3. Oh, if I'm going to make predictions, let's back up. We'll make some predictions. Oh, you know what? I'll do it at the end. So Ward 2, we just did. So let's do Ward 3. And then I'll go back and do some predictions for what it's worth. So we have Glenn Baswick here. Now, I don't know who Glenn is, but there he is. It's time for a change. Actually, that looks a lot like the other one. See that? Yeah, very close. Okay, so they may have the same person designing their site. Pledge your support. Pledge your support. So I'm guessing that's either a common theme or something. So you can learn more about Glenn there, right? Time for a change, right? In Ward 3. Now the incumbent is Corinna Traill, who I also know, and she's running. She's also a lawyer. So there, her website clicks to her counselor and her law firm where she works, and so there's her information there. So a bunch of information on her. She's the incumbent, right? So here she is. So why choose? Okay, so then you can look up that information. And finally, we have Marven Whidden. So he's more of a sort of community activist. He gained some notoriety about a decade ago where his dog was in the Sun newspaper. I can't remember the exact details at this point, but his dog Jenny was in the newspaper as running for mayor, I believe. So I've met him many times. He's a very affable, nice guy. So I think it's going to shape up into a battle between those two, but we're going to talk later. Oh, here. So he's time for a change. So he's going on change, obviously, and highlighting. Looks like Corinna's attendance was not that strong in 2021. So he's highlighting that. Okay, so that's Ward 3. Now Ward 4. We have Jim Abernethy, former mayor. So very powerful hard hitter, right? So Jim Abernethy for Clarington. Similar to the other design with this pledge your support here. Tell me what matters to you. So he's reaching out to people to see what matters to them. There's Jim and his wife. And some credentials. And his priorities. Okay, so you can check that out. So Jim's in the race. That's in Ward 4. And then Margaret Zwart, she's the current councillor running for re-election, and there's her Gmail there. Okay. And I believe she was publishing the Orno Times before that. So, okay. So that's Ward 4. 3 candidates. Oh, did we do the other candidate? Oh, no, Christy Gunaratham. Okay, so I don't know who Christy is, but she has a Gmail there. She's just not listing a website, so you'll have to look her up. Okay, so that's Ward 4. Now there's a bunch, you may or may not, it depends on whether you're a separate school supporter, either for the Catholic system or whether you're a public school supporter, who you're going to elect. So for the Catholic school board, there's 3. And as I said, I had Joshua's pamphlet, plus I saw him at the door. There's also, so Alphonse Ainsworth is running. And I believe it was his wife that was the interim candidate, interim representative in the last electoral period. So you can look up his email there and contact him for more info. Joshua there, he's got a website. Let's check that out. Strength, Courage, Vision, and Faith. Okay, that's what he's going on. So he lists a little bit about himself and his platform there. Okay, so there's a bunch there. And then finally Kevin McKenzie, who's re-elect. So he's the current incumbent for the Catholic School Board. Okay, so you learn more about Kevin. Then if you're supporting the Conseil Scolaire Catholic Mon Avenir French Language Separate School Board Trustee, it was acclaimed. So congratulations to Marcelin Mondo. And the French Language Public School Board Trustee, there's 2 of them, Christine Dan Davino and Serge Paul, neither of whom are listing any contact information. Now the public school, the 2 incumbents I believe are Kathy Abraham and Gail Nyberg down here. Could be 3, I'm not sure, but I think there's 2, and I'm pretty sure that they're the incumbents. So because they've been active for so long, like I recognize the names instantly. So she's a candidate, right? So she's linking to her Twitter. And Michael Barrett has a Gmail here. Paul Brown, he's got, let's check out his Twitter then. So he's there. Committed to high quality, equitable education for every student and proud member of the Clarington community. We have Kyle Fair. When men choose not to believe in God, they do not therefore believe in nothing. They believe in anything. Okay, so he's quoting Chester's 10 there. Kathleen Flynn has a website. So you can get information on her there. Sheikh Hossein has a Gmail. Gail Nyberg, as I said, I believe she's the incumbent, but she's active, like executive director, Daily Bread Food Bank. She's, she comes with an extensive resume in communities work. Here we have Terry Recker, so vote for Terry. Might have too many windows open at this point. Parental support. I'm here to serve you and your children by bringing the critical changes that are needed in our public school system. There's Terry. Okay. And again, I'm not getting into how they campaigned or anything like that, because I think there was a little bit of controversy with Terry, but just highlighting that because I just happen to remember that. So, it's up to you to look into the candidates. I'm just listing contact information so you can look up which ones apply to you. Tenzin Shomar, so he's there. So he's got a website there, so he's running. A fresh voice for Clarington. That's his platform. His little tagline there. Okay, so that runs through all the candidates, dozens and dozens of them. Okay, so who am I thinking is going to win? Okay, I think this one is between Adrian Foster and Neal. I see a lot of Neal support in the Curtis area, but I think overall Adrian's been there for many years. I think 12 years now. So I think he's done a very competent job, and like he hasn't. There's no big issue I think that's really vexing residents. So I think he should be reelected. In wards 1 and 2, this is really a tough one. Janice is very popular, very active on social. Granville's done an incredible amount in the community. I'm not sure about Mr. Sanchez in the community yet. I think this is the first time I've seen him. So I think it's between these two, and I think Granville will take it. He's run in many different things, but he just on the strength of how much he's done in the community over a longer period of time, I think I would expect him to win. In 3 and 4, Willie Woo was acclaimed, and so I wouldn't expect him to lose anyways. He's very popular. Very nice guy if you've met him. Here now, so in my ward, I've ran against Stephen Conway and Sami, and these are the two new guys. So I think it's between Sami and Larey. Curtis is always kind of a toss-up. It depends kind of who gets out there more. I've seen Larey riding around, or his people riding around in a pickup truck with signs. So they have a pretty hardworking crew, but there's signs all over. So it looks almost sort of like, I would say in terms of signage, it would probably be Sami and Larey. Maybe Larey getting a bit of an edge with putting out more of the little signs, but they all have big signs. Robert Livingstone is probably in 4th, I would say, just in terms of the sign wars, and Stephen Conway's probably in 3rd. He's got his little green signs, but they're noticeable because they're very green, so they just sort of stand out more. So I would expect it to come down to between Larey and Sami, and honestly, I think it's a toss up, and I wouldn't be surprised if Stephen Conway is elected. Like, it wouldn't shock me, because they've been building up support for many years. So, but I think it will come down to a contest between Sami and Larey. And if I had to pick, I would probably pick Sami just because he has prior experience running. Okay. Next, Ward 2. My prediction will go to Lloyd Rang. I saw him at a Adrian Foster event, so I just happened to see him. So I just think that I've seen some Kerr signs though. But I just think Lloyd Rang, I just happened to have seen him, so I just got an impression on him. In Ward 3, I think it's Corinna Traill is going to win. Unless there's some sort of big ground well of... I don't think Glenn has much of an opportunity there. I don't recognize his name. So I think it's these two. And I think just because Corinna's the incumbent, has a lot of goodwill in the community. Of course, there's issues in the community, but I just think that she's had a long time to build up a lot of support. So it has to be something outrageous for her to really lose. So I think I'm going to pick Corinna as the winner there. And again, I'm not putting who I think should win. I'm just saying who I feel looks like they're going to win. And then in Ward 4, I would say normally you'd say the incumbent would win, like Margaret Zwart, but going against Jim Abernethy, that's the former mayor. He had support right across the whole municipality. So Christy, I just don't know. So I don't know. I would normally say Zwart, but I think Jim is going to win. Just because again he's a very powerful politician. He knows how to campaign and run. So I think it's between those two. Obviously, normally I would go for the incumbent as with having advantage, but he's an incredibly powerful politician. So. He has the chops probably to win there. Kawartha Pine Ridge School Board. I'm going to take Kathy and I'm going to take Gail. They're proven campaigners in the school board races. If there is a third, I'm not sure if there's 3 there. I've seen Tenzin Shomar signs around. I've seen Prene Gunty signs as well. Did we do Prene? Not sure if we did that. No, I don't know if we did. So there he is there. Let me be viewer voice this time. So I think we might have skipped him. So there you go. Prene. So I've seen your signs around. He's doing good work with that signage wars. Kathleen, I just don't know the other people, so I'm just gonna go with those two. I haven't the only signs for other people. I think I've seen a fair, but I'm not sure. The only other ones I think I've really seen would be Pranay Gunties, Shiko Sains, and Tenzin Shomars. So I think one of those ones might take it. Catholic School Board, I'm going to take Alphonse, and I'm going to take Joshua. Because he was campaigning door to door. I saw him, and Alphonse, his wife was there, so he would have some inside kind of knowledge. Kevin, I'm not sure. Like, again, I wasn't following very closely the Catholic School Board, so I'm not sure exactly. But, if, New Blood's good. And I was very impressed with Joshua. So, he's very tall, very, very good speaker. This was Acclaimed, so congratulations again, Mondo. And those two, I'm not sure if they're both Acclaimed or one of them's picked or what the story is. And then for regional chair, so we didn't have links here on the Clarington page, and when I went to the other page, it was sketchy. Like, it was not enough information on the regional page. I found, well, we'll click now. Let's take a look. See? So I didn't find information for voters. See, like, it didn't. I found the regional site to be confusing, quite frankly. Like, they have all this, yay, let's vote, but I don't see any. Where's the candidates? Key dates, but where's the candidates? See, so I didn't find their site as good as the Clarington one. But anyways, we have Lori Blaine Mackey, which may be part of the Mackey family. I'm not sure. We have John Henry, who's the incumbent. We have Peter Neal, who I believe is related to Joe Neal in Curtis. Credil Telt Patch. So of these three, I think, John Henry probably will take it. I can't see an incumbent regional chair, and especially with the superpowers or whatever that the mayors are getting. Durham region's growing larger and larger. So I can't see, I don't know of a big scandal. Like, I'm not aware. I wasn't following too carefully the last couple of years, but I'm not aware of a huge scandal that he's involved in. So, I would assume that the incumbent will get it. So those are my predictions. So we've gone through the candidates. Again, I'm going to put this in the show notes, but remember to check the site, votes.clarington.net, and you can take a look at this list as well and go through their websites, the ones that apply to you. You don't have to go through all of it like I just did. Just go through the ones that apply to you. So mayor applies to everybody. Figure out what ward you're in. If you're in West Side, you're going to be wards 1 and 2. If you're East Side, you're going to be 2 and 3. So only one of those will apply to you. And if you're in the East Side, it doesn't matter because he was Acclaimed. And then figure out which ward you're in. So if you're in Curtis, you're going to be in Ward 1. If you're in Bowmanville, you're wards 2 and 3, depending on whether you're West or East Side. And then if you're Orono or Newcastle, you'll be in Ward 4. Okay, so take a look at that. And then public or separate school trustee. So the information will be there. I'll try and put the links there in the show notes. So take a look at that. But it's right there, votes.clarington.net. All right, so that's the interesting part. And good luck sorting it all out. And yeah, so I guess I'll also try and do an episode every week of this show. So the next one will be sort of a look at who's won and if there's any shocking surprises. So yeah, but stay tuned. So because I have some plans for this show, and I'll explain more in a couple of weeks once we get through this election period. But I wanted to get something out there so we can start the program off. All right, everyone, take care. Question of the show. Have any of the candidates come to the door for you? Or have you seen any at an event? Have any of the candidates come to the door? Or have you seen them at any events? Please answer.